time to have some Mustang fever here. And I will wait again for some peeps to get on here, and we'll get going in a bit. This is the clay board. It's upside down. Clay board. It's a nice coated panel here. It looks like 1/8 inch by 5x7. I'm not happy I've used this gold tape, so I'll work on the top for a minute, but I'm not too thrilled that how this tape is behaving. But anyway, it should be fun to paint. I'm looking forward to it. We've got the old one. You can see the color print is just, that's just not good. This has much more vibrancy in it. This was the one I did originally. This is not a painting, this is a photograph, obviously. But it's just doesn't have the saturation and the pretty colors of the new photo. That's why I decided to do this Mustang again. And I decided to go with the smaller 5x7. I don't know, maybe I'm a glutton for punishment as far as that goes because my eyesight, but yeah, so I'll just wait a little bit here. I've got 3 people on. Want to tell me how the sound is? Let me make sure my volume's all the way up. Looks like it. Michael, how you doing? How's the sound, Michael? Also, if somebody would kindly share this to, not just to any page, but to the Airbrush guide right now so that people can jump on. Good. Michael, if you could share this to the Airbrush TV guide and maybe Awada, we can get some people looking at this. You know, if you can think of any other groups, that would be good. People can watch this later, but in the meantime, I would like them to have a chance to see it live because this is not directly hooked up to Facebook. So if they see it pop up on the program thing, then that will be good. All right, so like I said, I'm not happy that I've been using the gold tape tonight. I thought it would be the answer, but hopefully I can work around this. I'm going to, I was thinking about how the cuts are lighter, like pressing through the material. I don't see any real damage there, so it's very thin, and that's a good thing. But I don't like how the pieces stay to save them for later. It's just whatever. I'll just have to find out. So in the meantime, let's see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start laying in some black. I want the black to be done first because of how dirty it can get. Yeah, this is just falling apart on me, so I'll just take it off here. It can really ruin, the overspray can really mess up. Yeah, this is not going to happen twice, guys, at least not for a while until I understand this material. But it's cut and it's going to work. It's just that saving the pieces here, they're ripping up on me. So that's all right. I'll get some black in around this thing. And wherever I cut it, it's nice. And that's where the black goes, obviously. You can see that. And let's get this off here. There's a little fingernail power. Yeah. A little disappointed in this, but I'll get around it. Okay, so we can lay in some black around the body of the car. You see that a lot when trying to get the image. Why not use Friskin instead? Yeah, well, I was trying the gold tape because of the thinness of it. It's so thin, and the pressure of cutting into the board with a blade seemed to be less that could happen. It, like I'm not seeing that damage because the Frisket's mills, is thicker, and I'm almost out of blades. So I thought I would try this. It's gonna work. I mean, I'm gonna get my black in there, but then when it's all done and said, I don't have these pieces to put back in here now, as you can see, guys. But the fun thing about doing a lesson, is to show what works and what doesn't. Um, so anyway, a piece was given to me by a friend through the airbrush world. Who was that? Chris Garcia, and I really appreciate it. Been using it for a few other little things, but as far as this goes, I'm not too blown away by it. For this, maybe I need to understand more about it. I'm not sure, but I know that I have now. I just cut that a little bit funky, so I'll fix that with. When I spray that, I'll probably put a piece of tape across there. I see a line here now that I couldn't see before. Okay, so this is going to be open to down here, right? So I'll just get the dark in. This is how we're going to treat it. And then what I think I'll do is I'll line the frisket up. If I can get away with some of this, I will, but obviously I have no area to protect the outside, except stencils, like this. I could cut this out and I could protect the body, but in reality, I don't want I already painted this car once, and the black can really turn that yellow green really quickly because it just destroys it, So let's see, is this an opening in here? Yes, it is. I think I cut it. Might not have gotten that one. No, I didn't. All right, so let's do that. I like to pull it across. Let's see, I'm gonna just open this up. Yeah, it hardly takes any pressure. It's a pretty new blade, but it is getting a little worn out now because I've been using it for a while, so I better use it more on its tilt a little bit like that. And let's see, the bottom is kind of follow that line. I'm only going for the black areas, so we'll do that. Yeah, it's like papery, I've seen Steve Leahy use it. I was trying to get in touch with him, but I was not successful in time. But yeah, there's no cut marks. That's nice. That's one thing that's good. There's no digging into the board, but I'm going to probably bail the rest of this stencil. But in the meantime, let's get something going here. I have a couple of yellows mixed that I made yesterday, and it helps if I put my glasses back on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so I've got this one here. I have a little note, maybe a little bit lighter. Okay, and this one has the hood shadow. So that's for the hood shadow. So because I put that note on here, I'm just going to put one drop of white into this mixture. I'm not going to test it or anything. It's very close. So I'll do that. My little note was on there because I thought when I looked at it, it looked a little bit darker. Let's see. Let's get an. I've got more than one photo here. Here's the other one. So I might even cut this one apart a little bit to show you guys. All right, so let's see how close I am. Turn this out like that. A little hard to do when it's still attached to the cup. Let me go to the edge here. Hold on. There we go. All right. So what we got there? Yeah, I can definitely see more white going in it. Yeah. See that? It's a little chromy orange, and the shadow is definitely darker. That's right on. That's right on. Nice little mixture there. Now I'll be spraying the same color, a little lighter, a little darker. It depends, you know. But this has to be, uh, yeah, thawed out a little, lightened a little bit. And maybe I'll do a quick test on the side here. But in the meantime, let's get the black in here so that all that bad boy stuff is done. I'm going to take a piece of blue tape here, and I'm just going to come up where I got like a funky cut there. There we go. That should work. All right. So we'll move this over a little bit. It's got a lot of glare going on there. Okay. And now we have, once you get the darken, I mean, if you were painting this with transparents, you can knock this out in a few hours. You know, if you're really just not trying to match colors like I am, maybe a little longer, but this painting on its own, I've already put probably 2 or 3 hours into mixing, because I was mixing about 3 colors, and then I was thinking about transparents. So like, for example, a transparent of this is an opaque. My note is make a transparent mixture of the same thing. So my thought was, instead of just matching this color and spraying it in right where it is as a base, which this color is a base, and it's pretty accurate too. I mean, let's see, number 3 is right here. You can see it's pretty accurate. But I learned a lesson with the last painting. And so by taking this and leaving the white out, and then finding this color again with the violet, the yellow, orange, white, burnt umber, that's how I found the color. But no white. It's a little different thing because you're testing a color to find the right hue, right? The value comes in by control. The value of these comes in by spraying 100%. So it's different. This is opaque. These are going to be treated as, I think, transparents, because you can still see a little bit of the yellow under there. And if I base in the yellow first and then take this mixture in transparent, I think I'll be happier with the results. So I learned from the last one, and I'm going to go with that thought. And yeah, so let's get the black going. I guess I can use the HP Plus, HPSB Plus by Awada. I just took took the head assembly off last night. It was not, this was staying on. Is that still doing it? That's better. Yeah. It was staying on, and I couldn't get the needle in or out. So after using it for a long time, mixing a lot of opaques, it was time to take it apart and go after it with the Restore by Createx. You're not sure how to share to those pages? Okay. Well, maybe we can get somebody else to do it, but if that's what you mean, Michael. But let's see. Well, let me check the comments here. Okay, so who do we have here? Sam, how you doing, buddy? If anybody else knows how to share a YouTube video over to, I know you can, if you go to the share button, it will give you groups. It'll say private people, messenger, you know, that kind of stuff. So just play around with it, and let's try to get this over to some people on Facebook. All right. So anyway, Yeah, I think I'm going to use that. Let me just make sure that's still staying on a little. I must have gotten a lot of paint down in here, but I'm going to try the black. Now, I'm not going to use the black right out of the bottle. I'm going to just add a little distilled water. Okay, I just ordered 2 OT lights. The OT light bulbs are, I'll show you one. They're great. I have one in my bedroom over my bed because I do a lot of reading, do a lot of studying in there, and I do artwork. So I need to have the color correct lighting. So there's your OT light. This bulb's dead. 10,000 hours, they say, that this lasted. I had this for years, though. And the lamp, it goes like that in the lamp, and you get the color correct lighting that you can see up here on that baby. Oh, it's pure light. It's daylight. If you don't have that, you're not going to see fine print as well. You're not going to see true color for what it really is, and so on and so forth. But anyway, it's a 2-prong, 18-watt OT light is the brand. I highly recommend it. I have 2 lamps. You can get all different sizes. They just hold over the desk on a stand. So I ordered 2 of them because this one just blew in the bedroom, and I was like, okay, that's it. And then I said I had a little gift card with my Amazon thing, some kind of gift card that was for $7, and I was over the shipping thing. I got free shipping, so I get a couple of bulbs and do both lamps and get the art room nice and lit up again, better. Okay, so I'm just going to take the solo cup. Don't forget to do this. Yesterday, I took yellow and I didn't shake it, and boy, was it watery, and it was just very watery. So you have to really get these agitated, and so I probably don't need much more than that. And I'm gonna just move it a little bit. This has distilled water in it. It's an old airbrush cleaner, probably by Medea, and it is time. I've been using that for years for that because the cleaner wasn't strong enough to me. That's pretty watery right now. It's just black, kind of out of the bottle, but now I'll just add more to it, and that should balance it off. And nothing's wasted here. This could be saved with a lid on it, and there's no mixture, so it's not like, oh well, if it did dry up, I didn't spend time making, some kind of crazy amount of time mixing colors. Okay, so I will take a test piece back here so you guys can see it too. Just put it back behind the painting, and I will test it for flow. See how it behaves. It's just water coming out now because that's what I stored the thing in over last night. A little more air pressure. Got the Mac valve going here. Okay, good. She's behaving. Okay, so let's back this out a little bit more, or at least tilt it so you guys can see. And there's a little shadow cast there, so I'll turn the top of the, oh, this is too in my way here. Let me tilt my whole head assembly up there, the top of the thing. Okay, guys. There we go. All right, a little tilt forward. There we go. Now, I don't want to paint this. So this has a little tape on the back. It just came off the printing press over at Walgreens. But downloading it really made a difference of the quality of the photo. And it fit in the area. So this is an easy part, and when you think about this car, it's really and truly, if you wanted to paint a white car, you just paint the black around it and you got yourself a white car. Anyway, so here we go. So I'm just going to treat it like as if I was putting it on. I'm putting it on in layers. You know, let me get to the side so you guys can see without this, my hand covering everything. A little more air pressure. Help it move along, atomize nicer. And this is pitch black. I've already, made sure that that wasn't like some other color. I mean, you could put color in the black, um, that's for sure. But at the same time, if it's black and you're testing it, then I'm going to spray black. I'm painting what I see and I'm mixing what I see. Air dry. So basically, if I see black and I'm going to put it in. If it looks like it might be more charcoal, then I'm going to put white in it or whatever. Dry that out. I can see the texture of the little bit of the clay board. Make sure it's nice and black. It's drying in between. That's what I do when I'm testing my colors. I air dry them thoroughly. You don't have to do that too much with transparent. When you're doing a transparent mixture and you're just going along like this, getting dark at the bottom, lighter at the top, it's pretty dry. I mean, so was that on a piece of copy paper, but the mixtures that like the yellow and stuff, that will be different. So now that overspray might reach here already, right? But it's okay because we're going to go into this area. This is totally protected. And I'm going to treat this really like a step by step for myself. Like I did this before. I ran into some issues. It looked good to me. I was really happy with it. But then I started saying, wait, there's little problems with this painting. Maybe because of the size of it. The problems were pretty much out of paint. We're like maybe I didn't draw the round corners on this. I'm seeing that right now, actually. Got a little piece of burr here. It's got to go. That's got to be a round corner. I'm going to catch that right now. Because even though it's little, you can get away with like things like that. This was gigantic, and the person wanted a picture of their car. They know their mirror, just like they know their tires. They know everything. They know if it's square cornered, what have you. I think that's good. No, that's not good. Something's not good there, guys. So I'm going to take this off. And it's time for new blade. I can feel that. The point's gone almost. Yep, no cut through. That's nice. But right here, this is where I'll bring in Frisket right now. Okay, so right here, I got to follow this line and get that round corner. It's small. It's ever so small. And because I have a nice black background, I don't have to worry about this black line because it is going to be into the black. And then this kind of has a little bit of there's going to be a shadow off here. So let me sharpen this pencil. It's not sharp enough. Yeah, so the mirror on the old one was kind of, and you can turn the painting like that, and you can draw better because you get the curve of your hand. So just go like this. And here's where it's round. Just there. When I cut it, it'll be even better because sink the blade into it. That's a nice mirror. I'll show you that up close here. Nice round edges. And I'll show you the old one, which I don't know what I did to this mirror, but if the owner of the car, this painting is ruined, by the way, but look at that. I mean, there is a round top, but it's not even the right height or width. It doesn't have the angle that it should. It's different, you know? So, and there's a good example of what happens when the black hits the yellow. This was a really nice yellow. I was really on with that. But then here's the part where I'm going to change it. I'm going to bring this yellow all the way around as if, you know, these are shadows, right? It's just different colors of the yellow. And I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to mix this color in a transparent version. And then I'm going to be able to see through it where you get to see the yellow kind of coming out from under it. I don't know if you can see it as I can, but yeah. So I've learned a lesson from my old painting, and you know, this thing can be cleaned off, but there, if you feel it, there's cut marks on here. There's little ridges that when you do spray the clear, a lot of that can get taken care of. There's a damage report right there. Then I was trying to touch it up with correction colors and stuff. And the more I looked at this area, the more I said, you know what? I don't want to work on this anymore. So I'll clean this off. You know, like I said, you can just get yourself some Windex, right, like this, and you can just take this paint right off. Of course, it takes a lot more elbow grease than that to get through that. But I'll just take a piece of paper towel and just show you that this can be removed. You know, you can get it completely off the board. One more hit. And then it might need a little 1000 sandpaper, you know, to get it back to where, so I'll just go on one area right here. And if I work it, and it takes time, you know, you got to, here, the yellow's coming off easy, okay? So then you just got to go back with a cleaner cloth, and as you go through it, now look at that, it dripped right through. This is not protected, see? So, yeah, that's kind of cool looking. That's an abstract Mustang coming through a storm, right? Yeah, maybe I'll fool around with that, make it something it's not supposed to be. But yeah, you can do stuff like that. You could put this in a spray bottle, and you could just destroy this paint on purpose, kind of like that. But you can get this clapboard back. You can definitely get it back. You might have a few cut marks you don't like, but if it's really bad, then you got a problem. And I see some bad cut marks. The reason why I'm not using the photocopies right now is I'm working only with my left eye, because my left eye's gotten weaker, but my right eye is legally blind. It's just out of focus. And so for me to cut out the way I used to do things, I had a sign company. When I used to cut out things, they were dead on. I mean, I could nail that line, the inner, the outer. I could cut that out and use it as a shield. But I'm going through health problems, so I can't do it that way anymore. You know, I am going to put Frisket there. But I'm going to go till I drop. That's how I see it. Okay, Frisket, here you go. I have my little box here that I keep my little cutout strips from scrap paper, and I spray and I'll test on these little guys. That's what you see attached to here with notes on it. So I decided I go through them so much, and then they would be in the desk drawer blowing around. So I just cut out 1,000,000 of them. And you can even get those little slide-through cutters and make your life easier, because I've been using the scissor for that. All right, so let me get a piece of Frisket on this. Okay, so we've got a little sheet right here, and I'm just going to go up above and I'm going to get a new blade. I can feel that's already ruined. Sorry, I'm blocking the image there, but no extra charge for that. Okay. Some nights when you're doing a live feed, this is my experience. You really like I'm into all of them, but sometimes you really want to do it more than other times. And tonight was kind of like one of those nights. Everything was going right, and it still is, except for me using this chrome paper. And you just can't wait to get to it. Can't wait to show people what you're going to work on. And that way you don't have to have your painting come out like that. That's been in the junkyard for a while, guys. But like I said, that clay board, and if I find that there's too many cut marks in it, I can turn around and paint a heavy sky and put some clouds on it and bury it, clear it. There's all kinds of ways to use it still. And so that's why I did that. Well, out of my 100 X-Acto knives, number 11, I'm down to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got to order. I got to get them in stock. I don't like using Frisket, but you definitely got all the photocopies and other things. So something's on here. Tape. All right. Okay, so hey, that annoying thing there. It's a piece of Scotch tape, I guess. Let me just get it off here on my lap. Yeah, so we got 9 people here. And let me check my comments. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I want to be an inspiration. And the comments fading away as I don't hold my finger on it, I guess. Let's see. Astral. Okay, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hello there. Thanks for hopping on here. And I'm glad I'm inspiring you. That is exactly what a teacher wants to hear. And we got Dan. Hi, Dan. Good evening to you, too. Great to have you guys. Don't forget to, if you enjoy these videos, as you're saying there, right? Don't forget to hit the like button because that sends this a better algorithm, right? It sends it out there. I'm gonna put this on my lap, guys, just to cut this out because it's easier for me. Okay, so all I'm doing is just taking a brand new blade and I'm using what I should have used first, the lightest pressure I can use, and any little tremors or something that seems to be something I deal with kind of goes away because once that blade sinks in to the material, to the frisket, it becomes, it just steadies it. Yeah, I deal with hypoglycemia. I've been dealing with that all my life, though. Anyway, I'm not too worried about like saving this piece. It's a pretty good cut. I mean, you could see that. I got a little burr right there, but because I'm going to do a hole cutout on this after. But let's get this now. Now that's safe. I can paint that. It's got nice, nice round corners there. Here we go. Time to inspire. Okay. I think one of the best things that you could take away from a live feed is mistakes and how the artist handles the mistake. Because when I had students at my school, which I had my sign business for over 30 some years at that time, and the school was part of it for maybe half of that. I'm not exactly sure anymore. But when you have, students right there, the teacher is going to make mistakes. You're not on a video, and the students just watching, and they might say something like, oops, it's like, oops, teacher. But the thing is, that's what they learn a lot from because they might think, oh man, you just messed that up. It's like, yeah, I just did, but what am I going to do about it? And that's part of the value of the lesson, right? So that's why I'm going to try to do private lessons, like, through Zoom or something like that, because then I could work one-on-one with you and then I could check your work. I could tell you, I think you need to do this, or maybe you could tell me you think I need to do that. Yeah, I'm a teacher and a student. Okay, so believe it or not, my little black is needing, I need more already. Oh yeah, I gotta order a large bottle of um, white. I'll buy the 8 ounce. So I need orange. I'm not out of orange by far, but I'm gonna get this. I gotta order the blades. I gotta order the big 8 ouncer because you go through so much white, especially when you're doing opaques. And then I do the same with the black. I get the large one, and then the rest, the little 2 ounce guys. Okay, so I can see little marks in there. See, this can scratch so easily too. Okay, so test it over here. It's a new little mixture, and you just, the old pass one, pass two. It's like there's one pass, air dry it. Second pass, overlap. So like if you're doing, let's say, here's pass one at the bottom. Air on farther away, pass one. Pass two, you go a little higher. Pass three, and it's all melted. It's just lock and load, just keep it. Then you can go back down. Don't try to flood it on like that because that will get you nowhere. And then just, go after your tip dry, which I don't do enough. Overlaps. That cut looks, oh, that goes out. No, it's a little more angular in there. Okay, so now my tape is going to be in the way, my blue tape. Oh, I went a little high there, huh? Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. And then knowing how to fix things, that's a big plus. Now I'm just going a little faster. Look at the car with that yellow tape. You think of that beautiful car, this color. I don't like yellow cars really, but I've seen cars this color. And why would somebody, well, I'm not going to say that because there's people that might have a beautiful car they love. So to each their own taste, right? But that's not my taste. My mother had a car, something like that, but it was more like a mustard color, Ford, not Fairlane, Falcon. And yeah, it probably had that color. Once you put the black over it, more like that color. So just another coating and coating and coating. Look how the frisk it takes as opposed to the gold tape. Now, why didn't I just go along there? I'm gonna look straight now. I don't know why it didn't. Maybe I've seen something that wasn't there. Okay, so now I'll just second coat it. I'm about 5 inches away. Good evening, kids. Good evening, kids. Sounds like Steve Leahy. It's funny you said that because I was looking on your, Steve, how you doing? I was looking on your backlog and on your videos, looking for the one of the pickup truck. I forget what the name of it was, but you named it, and you did use a little gold tape when you did that one. And I did send you a message, Steve. I don't know if you saw it. It was asking you about this gold tape. But I called Coast Airbrush and I got some answers. But man, that painting came out so incredible. But yeah, as I scrolled through a lot of videos, as I was going through them kind of like this, I would hear you go, good evening. And then the next video, and how's everybody doing? Hey kids, how you doing? It was one after another. of many videos over the years, right back past 2020. There's Steve saying hi to everybody, and it's just cool to. And then all the videos, I remember watching a lot of them, and yeah, it was cool. But I decided to use the gold tape, and I'm not happy. So we'll see about that. Second coating it one last time. Aim down, like say if you were trying to stay away from color, you aim the other way. If you aim up, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to hit it one more time. And I'm far enough away now to where I'm going to have a nice black background to work with. FBS, yeah, gold tape. And I just don't like using it for this. I'm sure I would like it for in the roll form and stuff, but I tried it tonight because I thought, I don't think you saw my message last night on your feed, but I got my package. It was awesome. Thank you. That's great. That's great. Yeah, Steve, I was looking back on some of your work. I take, I'll save the picture to study it, like um, to look at the marble painting. Oh my gosh. Or the certain razor blade paintings. And of course, the famous motorcycle one with the reflections. I think you called it the Three Amigos. I'm not sure. But anyway, all right. So I got my black background in. I am going to try to, right out of the bottle right now. Let's see. No water, no distilled water. Okay, I'm going to just hit the edge of this one more time. Right there. No, yeah, that color's darker. Wow. Okay, so now that I got paint on there, I'm going right out of the bottle. It's thicker and blacker. Wow. Okay, whoops. But you can't build this. You got to build it up slow, right? Okay, so air dry that. I am going to get the hair dryer because I'm going to be going after this. I'm not going to be working with this tape. Can't even on Frisket. You can wipe that off. You can peek through it like this. It's just slippery, That's something you cannot do too well with this. A little bit, but not what it is. So let's see how my other painting's coming out now. How about that, huh? You could take all kinds of chemicals. This was the original try, right? You take all kinds of chemicals and let them just sit. I was showing how I was going to use this board for something else. All the layers, like other colors underneath. Opaques fighting my fingers there. Black is like strong as anything. So that was the original painting. Now the green one, I didn't have to go through this, so I can get back down to the white of the board. It takes a lot of doing. There's a cut mark right there. That's where the sandpaper might come in. But anyway, I won't keep bringing this up, but that's the same car that I was not happy with. The more I looked at it, I was happy with it in the beginning. The green Mustang. Let me get that. Whoops. Is definitely something I'm happy with, but it's not finished. You can tell when a painting's going in the direction that you want it to go in. I mean, I've got to put some nice highlights on these lines. I've got to kick this up. I'm going to put white in here from the bottle. I got to make this look like, really like a lens. And so that's that one. That's that, 5x7. I put the name of the photographer on my, you could just see it on my advertisement. Forget his name. It's you have to look. It's a little bit of a name that's a little hard to pronounce for me. In my memory, I don't remember what it is. But anyway, yeah, Unsplash, you know, it's free images, but I shared it on Facebook it says please share as a way to thank the photographer. You could buy them coffee, you could do whatever you want, but you don't have to pay for the image. And it's free to use. And boy, have I found some great images. This is where I wish I had tweezers. You know? This is really holding on there. So let's see, without ruining it, where can I get this started? Down here. Now see, if that was a piece of Frisket, that would stay solid. I know I'm blocking it, guys. Give me a second here. The unveiling of my white car that I'm painting tonight, right? Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? All right, I'm going to have to just, if I have to go my fingernail and get that started. There we go. Now I'm going to be careful not to go after the soft paint. And let's unveil this white car that I'm painting, right? Yeah, I don't like this stuff. I'm done with it. See, it's like paper. I guess it has its purpose. Now, if I was pulling the hood off, I'd have a section of the hood. I could save it to the side and put it back in. That's what Frisket is, right? That's the other thing. When I had my school, the student, if they couldn't see or there was a couple students, I had sometimes 5 or 6 at one time, they could just move their bodies around the artist sitting at their desk and you can watch, or you could have like cameras set up like Drew or other people now that are doing that, and everything is blown up on a giant screen, on a TV screen. So you can't miss nothing, you know? So there's my white car. That was pretty easy to paint tonight. Okay. Major cuts. Little funky right there. Little mark on the black. Okay, that's what the car is. So that's the actual, give or take a little touch up here and there. Okay, so we've got that right there. There we go. The weight light. So, yeah, I see a little bit of right there. I see the line going, and then I see how I sunk. So let me just make a couple of adjustments here. I was telling them, Steve, if you're still here, that with my eyesight, I'm having trouble with doing it the way you do with the the copies and stuff, cutting them out. I used to be really good at that, and I'm not as able to do that now. So I will just, this is bumpy on purpose because that's the light. The light is actually bumpy. Okay. I could use nice swig of cold water to wet my whistle. So had I done it in Frisket, all the cuts would have been done and nothing would have been, I got to put the Frisket on there, but I'm going to figure out something right now to move forward. So let me get that little mark right there. I'd say to there, right there. Okay. It's just like with the Frisket, you'll have a nice piece like this. Say this was a cutout, and you save it, and you can put it over here. You can put it on the wax paper. Here, we've got a little, I don't know what happened. I don't know why those lines are missed like that, but it's an easy fix. Wow, runs out of paint quick. Runs out of paint quick. Nice sharp line. Perfect. Yeah, that little guy there just, I don't know. It's not the right angle. This has to go, I have to put the photocopy on top of here. That, not only this little burr right here, right there. That's like, oh, there's Frisket there. Some of that stuff is still there. Okay, now I just scratched into it. So, but that's still not the right shape. It's more, it comes over a little more and up. So I lost a little bit there. This should be a little bit more rounder in here. Even if I ruin the edge a little bit, whatever, it's, you know, waiting for the other colors. I see some of this yellow going back. So I'm going to correct down here. The yellow goes into like a brown back in this little section there. It's very little subtleties like that. Let's see, I need to go this way. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is just get that little funky line out of there. That looks right, but it's not. So I'm going to go right. Right there at the end, really, just right there. I'll see how that looks, and then I'll go from there. I'm going to be trying, I don't have great pictures of my Mach 1 from the days gone by. I had a 70, 351 Cleveland. It came as a kind of one of their green, you know, I bought it used in a parking lot over here in Tom's River, and it was green with white stripe. It looked cool. It called me from the highway. I was driving by and I was like, whoa. The Mach 1, I never really paid attention to it before, but I just loved it. It was an incredible car, and I had it, and I wish I kept it, but I want to, and then I got in a minor accident. So the let's see, was it this side? It was the other, yeah, it was this side, got smashed. I pulled out, somebody waved me on and said, hey, go ahead. And I started to go, but somebody was coming up identify them. Okay. I'm seeing some comments. I'm here. Okay. So I'm just seeing some you're making. I hope I'm making some kind of a masterpiece. Hey, Steve, do you know how to share this live feed to the Airbrush page? I was asking the other guys so that they could see this live, even though it's far along a little bit. If you do, then let me know. Yeah, there's little things here that I have angles cut. This is all good. That's all good. This color goes back in there. So before I get it, before it gets away from me, I'm going to, there's some little burrs of that other tape. So that has Frisket on it. And what do I feel there? A cut mark? I didn't cut there yet. So, oh my gosh, the pencil, I think it's a 6H. H stands for hard lead. I'm tracing this down. I scribed so deep into it that I marked it a little bit. That's weird. I need to get some 1,000 sandpaper grid because it goes real quick. So like that is like not going to really do much. But I'm just curious if I could find a little spot on here that could just knock that pencil edge down a little bit. Yeah, it's gone. It's not a cut like, it's not a cut like yeah, there's no edges here. That's nice. Just the thickness of the paint you feel, but you don't feel no cut marks in it. Okay, so now, let's see, what do I want to do? I want to clean up a few edges. This should be rolling out more. How did I do that? Okay, so that, either I got a little thick on that one. I think I did. So that's correct down there. So what I'm going to do to fix that, I'm going to just take my straight edge and I'm going to just kind of find that flat spot. Tape is everywhere. I don't want to scratch the painting, but I believe that if I connect that to that, this will look more correct. But when I get up near the top, up in there, I gotta roll out. There it is. So in my drawing, or well, I don't even know. I just know that I don't know why I have little flaws in the drawing already. But that's how you fix it. Just like that. So you study your work and you make sure you're happy with it. The drawing is accurate. And you just fix it. That should be good. Over here, we've got a little, I don't know if that's fingernail damage or what, but okay. There we go. So see, I could have said, oh, I'm going to make it fatter and scrape away this part. And I still see a line there that I'm going to go up to with this edge. And I'm going to even take a little more of that off. Little silly thing, little tweaks. There, I see it though. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be like the factory. Okay, so I could work on the hood area. I could always make a new frisket, because if I put the frisket all over this, I don't know if that will lift. No, it shouldn't lift. That's old school problems. There we go. We got a little piece blocking that. That shape goes up in there. So I'll just do a Steve Leahy thing here with a Steve recommended brush. There's a little scrapper there that's damaged. Whoops, get back over there. Okay, so I think I'll go this way. Yeah. There we go. Got that in there. That is bumpy on purpose. That's the lens. The lens has got glow coming off of it and all kinds of stuff. So what I have here for my, there's no water in there. I have a sink out in the garage. I do a lot of the heavy cleaning and stuff like that. But for my water, I either go out to the sink, but this is distilled water, so I'll just fill this up a little bit with one of the old squirt bottles. And then I don't have to get up and down. Just got it right here. Yeah, I'm even using distilled water for my brushes, you know. Okay, so, and then what I do when I'm painting, I put them in upside down so that they don't sit on there, you know, and get all crooked and bent and horrible. You know, that was one thing having the art school. The kids did not know how to treat brushes. So we would have lessons on just brushes, brush care. I'm talking about, you know, the conventional brushes we use. Okay, so let's see what I can do here. All right. All right, so I have a color. I'm just gonna kind of do what I gotta do here. Yeah, it's a good hack. It's 1,000 grit. I mean, you find out what can you do. When I had Crescent and Frisk, what was it, CS10 board back in the day in the 80s and 90s, we're talking, you know, you had to repair. Like if you had with that board, let me get a piece and I'll show you what I mean. It's illustration board, you know, and with it, hold on, I'll be right there. Just looking for a piece. Okay, here's just a scrap piece laying around. It's got tear marks in it. It's all, but this is illustration board. You know, on the back, usually they print out the name. I don't know what this might be, Bainbridge or whatever. But when you got a problem, like say this right here, then what we would do is we would get the spackling for the wall, because this is a nice smooth plated board, and we would put the spackling on. It would dry and harden, and then you would sand it with the, you know, 1,000 grit, whatever, and it would restore it. Or if you had like damage, let's take a tool. So here's a Dremel tool, or whatever this one is. That's not a Dremel, that's a needle. Okay, here's a Dremel tool. And if you were pushing into the surface and you got a divot, which it's not showing up too much here, but you know, you could just imagine a big divot, or maybe you were doing them on purpose to make like orange skin or something, because you could just take the spackling and put it right over that. You can't do it. I haven't tried to do it on here, but I can sand it. But if you keep sanding, you're going to go to the gray. Maybe it's a primer or whatever. So if you keep sanding a spot, you're going to get, you know, and also if you use the wrong sandpaper, you're going to get swirls and all kinds of damage. Then you have to get those out by going to the lighter grit, you know, over and over. But yeah, there's all kinds of ways to get around things, right? Um, when you're trying to remove something like this, you would put the blade on an angle like that, and you would find which way the blade wants to go one way, and you could just take that out. I'm kind of sanding it, you know, using the flat part of the front of the, no damage to the board. The clay board has some forgiveness. So did the other paper that you could do some things to it. Bristol board, not so, you know, unless you get the higher end Bristol board. But anyway, a couple little things there of how to use the X-Acto knife and clean up that. So, okay, everything looks pretty good. This is probably going to go lower. This in here is very angular. So what I need to do here, because I obviously should have left the piece of the flipping of the putting, you know, hinge, I should say, where you put the drawing down, you have it hinged. I took it off because it would have lined right back up and I could have found a few things that I might need. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I'm going to put the film on there. Let me get a little, I know I'm not getting a lot done with the yellow, but that's just the way it goes. It's a painting and it's got to be worked and treated that way. Okay. Where's my little guy? Tool by Stadler. Okay, so you can check things. You can make sure your lines are good. It's a little kind of like a protractor, I guess. Here, that's supposed to be bumpy. But right here, I can see the line is the lens. It goes there, and it curves right there. I need to know where that is. And then I could just kind of put this back in. That goes a little bit, no, it's not bowed. It's actually got glow coming off of it. So I'll just go like that. And then I know where that is again. Oh, that's the, okay. Because it is going to bust out of the lines, the glow. Okay. So again, the problem that I ran into tonight is I should have left it be frisket. So it's not frisket, and that's okay. We will find this drawing again. That comes up higher. I can see this image right here. So this has got to be bigger. Okay, so that's wrong. So let's bust that out. Like I said, I took the hinge off, you know. So, but I can see this one. And it is right, I'll put a dot. It's the paper I used took a lot of the drawing off, which was kind of cool in one way. There it is, right there, there, there. And this is just a guide of where to spray the mist, this blend. So this part is accurate. This is going to be a hard edge, this line. But then that glow area will just be an indicator, a couple dots, just to say that's how high up the glow goes. Whoops, right there. This got this a little wiggly right there. So we will, okay, so that turns, I see that turns in like that. That's accurate, but this hopped a little bit, so we're gonna just bring that to that corner. Come on now. There it is. That's the line. So it's not wavy. And what I did wrong on the last time I did this painting, I went like this and it made this line go the wrong way. This meets up right here. This comes in like that. And then this little piece is just a little angle thing of, so the shadow is here. I kind of lost the shadow. I see it right there, and right here. So it goes right through here, right to here. So I can put dots on a line that I kind of lost, but that allows you a little wiggle room. And then, and you don't want a strong line there anyway, right? And then this is where this meets up, right about here. And then it will just go all the way over to here. So I'll just walk my way over. And that's where my shadow is going to be on the hood. That will show that curve, that going down like that. Okay, so that's good. This is rolling too much. So what I'll do, when you see a line that doesn't look right, I'll just take this and I'll see how curved that is. It is a little curve, but look at that. That's ridiculous. So I'm going to take my French curve. So right now, I guess we could say we're into a little bit of corrections on the drawing that got lifted by the gold tape and probably wasn't right anyway. So let's see what we got here. So I could find that angle somewhere, maybe. There it is, right there pretty much. And if that's not it, there it is. So what I'll do with that is I'll take a grease pencil, or they call it Stabilo, and I'll just go like that, and that's the area now. Now I can come over here and I can make sure this is correct. Right there. It is correct. It looks wrong. Wow, that is correct. What is wrong with it? Something down here is wrong. Maybe that needs... No, it's not fanning off down there. It's going this way. It's going a little straighter there. There, that's it. Okay, that's better. That little dip there was wrong. Okay, so just finding a few things that got lost because I don't have the hinge. Comes back to your freehand skills and a ruler. And turn that out like that. I could take this shield and I could go in here and I'm going to use the inner circle and I'm going to find that because I roughed it in, right? So that's the inner one and that's probably the outer one. Yeah, maybe, yeah. And then the inner one would be smaller. I don't think it's that small. Wait a minute. Little drawing lesson, right? Probably I could go with this. I'm looking through it so I can see. Yeah, it's a little bit too fat, so I'll have to just go in and make that be a little skinnier right there. Maybe this one. And just go off of it and it'll get skinnier. Whoops, slipped. But that's all going to be dark, so that will work out there. That's pretty good over here. So refining the drawing. This is all in the dark, this area. Here's where it meets up right there. to make sure that goes that way. The last time I went, what did I do? The last time I went, instead of dipping, I went that way, the wrong way. Okay, so I'll be checking this with my, I have to make this dead on accurate, so I'll be checking things against the copies and things like that. Whoops. Okay. So I guess I could start with the mirror. The mirror is the only thing I've got that I have Frisket all ready for it. So let me do that because you guys want to see a little color. But I am going to go careful now because I have to put Frisket on here. So let me take that off. I'm going to save this piece too. Recommend getting some tweezers. So I'll stick that off on the edge of the desk there, on the edge of the cutting mat, so I can see where it went. And now I will take the bigger piece here with the negative cutaway, line that up. That's another thing. This slides into place a little easier than that paper. That paper gripped on, and that was it. Okay, so we're going to zoom in on this. Hang in there with me, guys. Okay, so let me bend the little arm here so that we can see that comfortably. Okay, so we don't have Frisket on here yet, and that would be kind of boring to watch, somebody try to do something like that. I mean, you want to see it a little bit for beginners maybe, but okay, so that's open now. So what I'll just simply do to save time, because there's no Frisket anywhere else, is I'll just use the sticky post notes, and I will put one there. They have the extra stick on them. And we're going to treat that two-tone. That mirror has the same thing going on in the car. It has the lighter yellow and then the shadows on it. So let's see if we can do some close-up stuff here. Okay, tilt that up and zoom in even more. Okay, so I think we can go in even more because we want to show, hold on, I think that's good. Okay, let that settle so it stops wiggling. Just turn that a little. There we go. I'm OCD'd out on being a sign painter. Everything has to be straight. My phone has to be straight. Everything. Okay, so remember I said I have this pre-mix color that I made a note on. Maybe a little bit lighter. That's my recipe, but it doesn't tell you what. The dots tell you, just for me, number one just tells me with a reference picture off to the side what area was number one. And then orange, yellow, violet, and white. So for a person that's a newbie, the opposite of yellow is violet. I'm not going to get into in-depth color theory. I'll do that privately because that's what I want to do the classes for. How to match color and things like that I'm starting to get really a lot better at, but I'm putting my time in. So anyway, notice the violet, there should be really one dot. It just means just a little paintbrush tip, a toothpick mount to gray the yellow. And when it grays the yellow, it pulls it away from the edge of the color wheel, and it starts to make the yellow look more natural, more duller, and takes the saturation out. If you keep going, you're going to get brown. Okay, so, all right. So I said a little lighter, right? My little notes here. All right, so I'll back this out for a minute because it's too close. Okay. Thanks, Steve. It works for me. I mean, I've taken what I've learned and I've applied my own little thing. Like I said, I've got my little cut swatches. Okay. I can spray on the end of that, test my color, and let's say it's transparent. Okay. So the transparent can be tested on here too, but you might want to spray light to dark, light to dark, and then you're going to get an area somewhere on that scale that might be that yellow. But then you got to spray it perfectly. You can't overshoot, right? But anyway, these little things. So if I do a couple of tests, I can always say, okay, this is it. This is the one, like I picked here. This is the one. I'm satisfied with that color. So I snipped it. I put number 1 on it because it was my first yellow. So the way I looked at it on the photo was, what's my lightest yellow? Probably that's the same. It might even be a little different, but try to figure that one out. Some of it's going to be visual, optical, but then right in there, that's got to be dead on. So my system, I'm not showing you how I made it, but I'm showing you how close these colors are. Now that is not, that's too, that's closer to that color. So I need to put white in here. I don't mind showing you that much. I've got a pretty good amount in here. So I'm just going to take my white. So right there, I know the value is not right. I don't know how I did that because I carefully made this color. I'm putting 2 drops in. And there's a lot to it, like white alone. Like I said, I'm not going to teach what I've learned on here because it's where I can make money and I can, there's a lot more to what I'm doing. I'm not showing color theory. If I did a course on here for free for basic color theory, I would just do like the color wheel and I would show you, yellow and violet are opposites, green and red are opposites, and you got your 3 primaries. You got your secondaries, right? Orange, green, and purple or violet. Which is it? You got to know it's purple, and the violet is redder. And then from there, you would dive deeper into interaction of color, the tertiary colors, what happens when you take a primary and a secondary and mix it, and then value, light to darker. And these aren't even the same hues. So if I sprayed this, if this was transparent, I won't get that. I'll get a darker version of that, but it won't be that color, the hue, the name of the color. Because did I put the white in? Yeah, I did. All right, so I put some white in there, okay? And I thought I said it was a bit too yellow, orangey. Okay, so orange. And then you got to know, like, oh my gosh, if you put an opposite in here, you could kill it because you've got, yellow and blue, and violet will darken it. So what I'm just going to do is just basically see where I'm at with the micron. And I'm just going to put a piece of paper up there. I got paper up there? No. I'm going to put a piece of paper up over here. And I'm going to find that better value. Okay. The value. Value is so important, right? We can do it with the airbrush by spraying the gray. You have gray in your gun, you spray light gray, dark gray, but you don't have to change your mixture. You've got India ink, say, that kind of stuff. Lights and darks. Okay, so that. Now, I want to make sure my gun is if anybody wants to see a great review and a great channel, YouTube channel, the review was on the Takumi, and it's a guy by the name of Mark. I don't know his last name, but his channel is called the Art Workshop. Some people might know it. Go there. He talks over. He has a very professional channel. He does voiceover when he's doing something. He's already, talking over it after he made the thing. He gives you a picture to paint that's already like something you could use a grid. He shows you how he prepares his boards with gesso and all this stuff. But he also is phenomenal with conveying to us as students um, how, you know, and he does a lot of reviews, how to do things, how to, you know. So if I spray that color lighter, you get that, right? But so I could spray it like a transparent and just come up the side. But what I do is I just focus on that spot, you know. And I'm just going to see now if I am a little bit better. It's definitely lighter, but you know what? I didn't spray enough. Because it's opaque, remember, it will get darker. Transparents will get super dark, and you can lose control of them. And target, mixing the color is what Drew teaches, and that is a phenomenal thing in itself. But you have to get his color theory in a class. So, and there's other things I do I can't do here because I'm not showing that. I'm going to look at it on the side. I have another area, another way to test this. And you have to have the color correct lighting or you can't do this. All right, so I am not, wow. I had this color all set, but I'm going to put a couple of drops of that in there. And there's things about the white that, again, you get his color theory and you're going to find out scientific stuff that will blow your mind that you just, need to know. Even if you don't want to do fine art, what do you call photorealism or super realistic or highly realistic, you just want to know that. And then what you don't need, discard. If you're going to be more, looser in your painting style, that's fine. So now I'm just going to take this. I think I added more white to it, but I got to just see if it's light enough. And I'm just doing it down here for a minute. And I have a drawer that I showed you in my tour of my studio. But again, that's the art workshop. You want to put that guy on your list of teachers. Phenomenal artist. Very, very good teacher too. Excellent teacher. So when I'm looking at this, I'll leave that up there so you guys can see that. I need to know what the heck is going on. I got too late, okay? So I'm going to take not a drop of orange. I'm going to take my little palette, which fell to the floor. I have another palette, but different sizes for quick things like this guy is little. And I'm just going to put a little bit of orange in there, so I'll put a drop or two there. That would take my color way too far, So now I'm going to just do that. This is my way. And you could use an eyedropper, I guess. This is my way. That might even be too much, but I'm going for it. I'm going for it. So all I'm doing now is just saying, do I want to change the lightness of the color or do I want to add or subtract something? And that's where the Drew Blair color theory, unbelievable, tweaking a color till it matches dead on. I think the course is somewhere around 2.25. I'm not going to quote prices because it might have went up. I forget what I paid for it, but some come with paint. Some I didn't need paint, so that's the first thing I would buy from Drew, and that's the first thing I did buy, and I'm glad I did because there's a lot of temptations to buy, oh, this portrait or that tiger or whatever. Because remember, I went to school under him, so the fact that I can be taught by the internet through him, through these courses that you can buy, classroom in a box, I can just take what I already learned and just go with it now, from home. I don't have to go down there. It's nice to go down there, but I don't have to travel. Okay, let me just see. So, just pushing it a little further. I could probably get away with it on the mirror. It's not a big area. But I want to make sure that my base color, the lightest color, is good. Maybe I didn't spray it enough. I don't know. I put orange in it, right, guys? Let's see. Yeah, this is more fanatical as far as, that's probably not the right word, but it's more to the point of time consuming and it will take you longer. But Drew says that if you do what he says and you practice, if you gotta be willing, to put the time in, then you will have the results. And it's happening for me because I'm here doing it all the time now, and I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting the results. My flame painting, the fire with the log, that was a really good breakthrough for me. Just hang in there one more minute. I'm going to probably go with this. I just want to make sure my color is... So what I'm doing here is I'm getting, yeah, that's just about it. Wow, that might be it. Ooh, I think I can go with that. So, okay, one more time for the orange, and that's it. And then there's saturation, like how much pure color do you want to see? How much gray color do you want to see? Gray color meaning the color is grayed down. That's all what you'll get in that course, and so much more. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. If I could sell them, if I could sell them for him, I would. Maybe I am selling a few. Hopefully people are... I know some people that have actually, bought some things from him. So, but that's the way I want to learn. So that's who I'll talk about. Yeah, I'm going to go with it. I like it. Okay, so here we go. So the base. Hey, my grandson's here. Hi, Jake. How are you, buddy? We're going to see you in Friday, right? Oh, good to see you on here. So if anybody's wondering, hey, Grandpa, that's my grandson. Hey, Sue. Sue. What, she's sleeping? Hold on one second, guys. Grandma's sleeping, taking a nap. And I just hit the chair. Anyway, hello, Jake. Ellie, my granddaughter, our only girl in the family, our princess. Hello there, sweetheart. I can't wait to see you. You guys are watching Grandpa on a live YouTube video. I hope I don't mess up. Okay, so guys, I'm going to take the lighter, the base color here, and I'm just going to paint the whole mirror that color. Right now, notice how it's yellow. Let's zoom in. Yeah, it's my grandkids, and I haven't seen them in quite a while. So watch this yellow, because it's opaque. Watch it change. See, it's getting more chrome looking, more orangey. Hopefully you guys can see the color. I'm sure you can to a degree. I don't want to go over there, guys. Hold on. What time are you coming, Jake? On Friday. What time do you think you'll be coming out? That's really good. We're going to have a nice Resurrection Sunday, Easter/Easter dinner. Ham, turkey, just like Thanksgiving time and Christmas. I can't wait. And all the kids, all the grandkids. Not all, but got a lot of them. But a lot of them are coming. The baby's coming. Well, he's not a baby anymore. He's 2.5. Nice. Okay. So that's turning into a nice, of course, all these other colors are faking you out. I'm going to spray that until I can't, it's opaque. I want to make sure I cover it. And that's it. I'm just going to dry it now. Now, that might look too dark for the base of the mirror, but in reality, it is the lighter color. And you can prove that by taking the shadow color from the hood. Whoops, I got to back out now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I could show you by taking the shadow color of the hood right there, and spraying it now onto the mirror off to this side a little bit. So that would be color number 2. And you can see the difference. See that color on that hood? See that? That's quite a bit different. But see when it hits that? Okay. So before I spray that real quick, this painting is almost done, and I'm bringing it up because I just got to tweak some areas. You're trying to go for all the fine details. But I was very, very, very happy with the color matching on the flames. You can see I still got to go back in here and put more yellow, but the yellow pretty much is the yellow, and that's what so I spend time. Now this part I have to get more lit up. So I have to take that and I have to study it and find out what am I missing here. And I can tell it's got some highlight in there of yellow that will make the orange red glow. And that's what's not in there right now. So once I do that and this darkness all around here, that'll just look like you could get burned. So that's my paint, that's my photo, and there's my painting. And that's what I'm talking about, color theory, Like this orange is not the same orange. This is not the sprayed lighter up here. That's another orange. That's another hue. If it was crayons, it would be a different crayon. If it was colored pencils, it would be another color pencil. Okay? And for those that came on late, now that I'm having show and tell, I showed this earlier. That's another Mustang that I got off of Unsplash. I think it's the same. You can get the name of the guy on my advertisement. Paris or Para something. Para, I think, is his first name. And he has these there. It's free images. I got to cut this off here, and I got tweaking to do on this, and obviously highlighting and tightening up, finishing the lenses, etc. But that's that. Okay, so now we're going to take that other color, which we'll just give it a little shadow and make that yellow look lighter. Because you could take like transparents and you could just spray on there a little bit. But in this case, I'm going to do what I'm doing there. Let's see. Sorry, I'm not looking at comments as much. It's not easy with this setup here. On what? What did Ellie say? You don't know. Okay. Well, let us know because I know it's Friday, but I don't know what time. All right. Planning a get together here. It's so cool to have you guys on here. Yeah, I'm Grandpa, the old artist. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. I wish I could hear voices like you guys, all of you guys. I wish we could talk, everybody, not just my grandchildren, but that would be so cool. All right, so I'm going to spray the bottom of the left side of the mirror has got more of a brown on it, but I'm going to hit it anyway with this color. It's going to be a color, so I got to be careful. I just want to get the back end and the bottom. It goes to about somewhere around there. It's becoming two-tone. I'm sorry. Right about, hey, the zoom works a little better. Right about there. Right there. I'm just going to keep hitting in the same spot till I see a change. There we go. See the change. Now here, I'm just going to dust this out a little bit, not all the way over. And that should make that stand out more when it's all done and set. Okay, one more time here on the corner and down at the base. That's it. Now the two yellows are starting to interact, but I'm going to take the next color just to tweak the corner of the mirror, which would be this color. I said here to make transparent, but if I spray this light enough, I can treat it. You know what? When I made this, I wasn't even sure. I wasn't even sure if I put white in it, but I forget, so we'll find out. But I can still spray it light. Okay, so now I need to stir that and tint the very little bit of the back side of that mirror where it turns. The mirror turns in. Okay, here we go. Okay, a little bit of air, very little. Now, I'm going to aim it this way. Test it on here. That's a brown, see? I'm just going to hit. It's actually got a nice little edge to it. Not an edge, but let me get a shield. Okay, so I'm just going to take this shield right about there. I'm going to hold it up in the air. Too much air. And I'm going to tint the back of that guy there. And look at it. I went a little bit high there, but I'll go to the bottom back here. Oh, I got to dry that. Dirty this up here a little bit at the base. Yeah, then gives it some dimension. Okay, that's it. Air dry it. And remember, the black is already around that. So Look at all that. Just to cover that, right? You can use these again till they get stickless. It's no more stick. But if you're going to buy them, like I always say, get the super sticky. Okay, let's back that out. Woo. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. Yeah, that really helps. So now we're going to take the frisket off. And we're going to have the mirror with some dimension. It's not, it's a little bit, whoops, it's a little bit too far. See, I went too far because it's so tiny that I carried that brown too far out. So now if I spray the lighter color back over it, I should be okay, because color shift, that's when it goes color shifting on you into a blue, awful blue, kind of ugly color. But color shift will allow, in this case, the yellow will be in my favor because it's kind of orange, and orange kills the blue. So, okay, so I'm going to take that right now, that yellow. Matter of fact, I'm going to lighten, I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray a touch of white. No, I'm asking for trouble. I'm just going to take the yellow, and I believe that yellow will do it. Yeah, here it is. Oh, yeah. Post note, use the same ones. I know I got a little, I had to see what it looked like, though, or I wouldn't have known. Whoops, cutting off part of the image. Don't have to go as crazy here. So I'm trying to light up the end of the mirror. This will be so, when you see the video next week and we get into the body more and all that, you will be pleased to know that, the bigger areas will be so much more rewarding to see because they're bigger areas. So let's see what happens here if I spray this over it. I don't think I'm getting a color shift, but I could sure use a little air. I'm going to spray it that way. All right, so where's my picture? Might not have enough strength to do what I'm trying to do, meaning it might not be enough contrast. It seems like it's working. Just hitting the end. Yeah, we're getting a really nice round thing. But what I'm going to do, one more thing, I'm going to take, again, Drew Blair stuff. And some people know, obviously, Steve, you know about correction colors and stuff. But I'm not really sharing the Drew Blair stuff. I'm not, it's just, hey, there's a hidden Mickey. Oh, it got ruined. The way the paint fell into the cup, it looked like a hidden Mickey. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my mixture here with a clean brush. I know we're doing a small area here, but sometimes that happens. You just got to go with it. Okay, let's get this. And now I can put more white in there. Wink, 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 wink. And for all I know there's Drew Blair students all over the world that know the answers to these questions, these statements. So they know. And therefore they can do that. And you want that in your arsenal. Drew's been developing it over his career. And I had the privilege of staying at his house and holding the originals. I've told that story before. And they're just breathtaking, and they've only gotten better. I said, man, how can that guy get any better? He got better. That's when I called him an alien. And better, and better. You go down there, to his place, and then you get a thing in the mail when he used to do aviation art, and you go, oh my gosh. I showed my wife, I said, check this out. He did a jet flying over a group of Boy Scouts and other things too. And the vapor coming off the jet wings, and the guy was flying low in the picture, and it was just like he just knocked it out, and just knocked it out of the. He knocked it out. What can I say? Okay, so I've got my correction color in here, and I'm going to take that, and I'm just going to run it on the edge right there. So I lightened the edge. Let's zoom in. This could be very interesting if you hang in there. Okay, and then I'm going to scrape along the top with the same lighter color. Because in order to show up a light color, you need something to contrast it. But white is not what's on the mirror. Now I can push back some of that. I'm just going to mist over it a little bit like that. And it's such a small area that it can really, it can change on you in a second. So let's go to the yellow now. So now that we lightened that area up, now the yellow, because I sprayed too far before, remember, will show up more. There, and the top. There we go. And then I'll walk it over. After I get that hit on the edges, I'm just going to walk it over that color a little bit right there. And I'll be showing you it in 1 second. Okay. I can make adjustments on this too later, but for what it's worth right now, we'll just look at what I got. That's not a bleed out there. That's just a little broken up with the black. Yeah, so it's getting there. So we got that two-tone thing going on. Once I put the brown shadow, I mean the almost dark, it's very dark, and bring a little more of the orange back and forth, it starts to look more and more like that one, hopefully. But, okay, so let's see. Yeah, we're coming in. I usually been falling into like a 2.5 hour window, and I haven't been paying attention, having so much fun, right? I'm gonna be ending it in at 2 hours tonight. I know we didn't get to the part that you all want to see there, but I can do this much, being that I have some colors. So let's just get a piece of scrap. This will make you come back next week. Come back for more. Because once we get into the real body, that's when we can really start to see broader color. But for now, I'm just going to pretend I'm painting the hood on here a little bit. So I have the lighter yellow, which would be right here. So, because I'm going to have to make more color now anyway. So let's just say we're doing the hood here. Okay. I'm just going to do like this. Like I'm not going to make the drawing or something. I'll kind of shape it like it a little bit. I'm going to keep spraying that until it becomes the color it is. Right on through. That should be pretty good. Being that we're doing a bigger area, I'll back it up. Say, imagine that's the hood. Whoops. See the overspray or the ring? That's where it's not all there, Okay. So at this point, you have this color. So we can at least use a little shield to get an edge right here. Okay, so that's the edge there, and this way we'll go this way. Just doing a little bit here. Whoops. Okay, so imagine that's the hood shape, and then forget the other part now. I'm not going to worry about that. Now my shadow will come somewhere in here. So I'll put a line out here as the hood, right, to here. And then I'll do that to about there. And I'll just try to freehand it in with the other color. So this would be the shadow color now. A color, though, beautiful color. Right, there's my marks. Let's get a little straight edge. I'm going to raise the straight edge. This is a stiffer shield, a little stiffer, but it has a straight edge. I'm going to raise it, and I'm going to capture an out of focus line. I'm not going to pin that against the surface, though. You can kind of see something happening here. So there's your lighter area, there's your darker area, and then the car starts, doing its thing. It goes out, down, and out that way. But that's kind of like, and remember, I want to still lighten that thing. So if you took, just for fun here, let's see, we'll take that. I don't even know if that's going to be accurate. You take that shape right there and put it right there, just for a little, whoops. Okay, and then when it meets this edge here, it does a little downhill stuff like that. And of course, this is extremely black, but you can kind of see, and then the other one would be coming up in here, the other shape. This one's a fatter one, so that would be like very dark. And then let's just say right here, we'll just go like that. I didn't put the yellow all the way over, and then it starts turning and going that way. So if you think of this right here being part of that lens, the actual, then you get a feel of where we're going with this next week. Once I have my frisket on there, that kind of stuff. That would be the lens, the whatever it is. I'm not going to go much further here, just showing you real quick something, to show you how that hood's going to start to take shape. And then the black would be in here. I'll just do the corner right up here. Let's pretend it goes this way. And I'll just color that in a little bit. And remember, this isn't black. This is just a pencil. Whoops. Oh, I ran right off the picture. Okay. You get the idea, you know. And this will be all the lens in here. But if you can look at that, you can see the subtlety of this dropping down. The line helps you believe it, you know, because like I said, this is way thicker right here. This is probably that thick all the way across. Goes into there. And you can look at that area right there and see something, right? So that's what we'll be doing next week. We would have been on to that part had I not used the gold tape, but it forced me to also carefully figure out like that mirror, you know, like going really careful and making sure that it looks like it. This is going to be a black shadow here. It's probably going to be brown, but it'll go that way. And then this comes up on an angle. And then this kind of rounds off there. And then there's those color lines through there. And then if you just kind of, just for the sake of a little bit more to look at, I'm just going to do that. And then just take, last thing here, guys, little drawing skills with it, right? Blender, like that. Oops, went on the car. Oops, didn't want to do that. Then you could come in and you could start to put in the headlight. That's another color. This is where a trans could come in, transparent. Because you can spray over a dark area and let color show up in an area that is not, you know, like you could just go like this. In this area, I could protect it. I mean, I'm doing this with a pencil and graphite, so, but you could go something like that and find the other things of the headlight in there and on and on and on, and you get the idea. But that would be black, right? And this would be, I don't know about making it to the, I might be doing a live feed. No, this week's too crazy. My paints are gonna dry up. That's all there is to it, you know. I just want to see one last thing here. Just looking at the contrast, I thought, how cool would it be to see really black there where it is, not the pencil black, but this is a micron. This is actually a Faber-Castell. I think it's a Faber-Castell. And this is black. It's a paintbrush. Faber-Castell, you know, for inking and stuff. And then you could see that. You can fill in areas really quick with it too. I love doing the inking. Whoops, a little bit jittery there. All right, so you get the idea around here, what black really looks like there. And then the microns, they come in different sizes. They have from 0.05 to, they go up to 10, 11, 12. So you could come here and you could put that in. Now, if I get the curve of my hand right, I might be able to do this without any kind of aid of a shield. That's good enough to show it, right? That's another guy you want to watch. He draws right out of his head. That would be Chris, Pinstripe Chris. Over the top. Skills from beyond this world. There's so much talent out there, guys. So just imagine having some colored pencils. You could put those little light lines in there, and et cetera, and so on, and just keep going and going and going. This is just all kinds of like crazy in here. Like I'm just gonna darken it in a little bit like that, and then just kind of take that gray and knock that, just to kind of show a little bit more of what we could do here. That's what's going to happen next week with airbrush paint. So give you a feel for the hood and what we're going to be working on. All right, so corner of this. Doesn't want to go too nice over that lead there. All right, I guess that's enough there to show you that. So here's where we're at. This will all be under Frisket next week. We'll be moving along because if you could see how fast that went, you'll see, you know, stuff getting done really quickly. And so I don't know if it's going to be 3 videos. I don't know if it's going to be, you know, 4 or less. I don't know, but that'll kind of, there you go. But that's kind of what, you know, what we're doing here. Okay, so thanks for hanging out with me. We went 10 minutes over. I got some serious cleaning up to do. And then I got some serious going to find some snack because it's serious. It's a snack attack, you know. You have a light dinner. Who knows? But you guys have whoever celebrates, you know, Easter, Resurrection Sunday. God bless you, and God bless everyone anyway. And have a really nice time with your family. Enjoy, and I'll see you guys most likely next Tuesday. And take care. And yeah, you're welcome. Thanks. I'm glad it's been a blast. No pun intended with the airbrush. It's been a real blast. So good night, everyone. Keep on painting. Take care.